Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Halo World Championship 2018 Finals. It is day 3. We are live here from Seattle, Washington, bringing you the winner bracket finals. We've got the 2-time Halo World Champions going for a third TOX versus the current North American Regional Champions, Splyce. And they got quite the age difference here on both teams. All the way from Shotzzy being 16, Snakebite being 22. The age difference is a big gap. Shotzzy started competing just last year, and he is on the main stage for the winner bracket finals, trying to secure a top 2 finish here.
This is the game we have all been waiting for. Everyone watching at home, everyone watching in the crowd knows how important this winner's final is. Who's going to make it to that grand final? Who's going to have that advantage once we get to that grand final? Will the person who falls be able to actually overturn the loser's final? This one is going to be so exciting, Strongside. I'm so pumped for it.
Right, you are. And there you see the crowd. You see some TOX fans. You've got some Splyce fans out there. Folks in the crowd, are you ready for the winner bracket finals? People are hyped. I'm hyped. This is a match I've been waiting for after seeing this matchup, not just in Columbus, but in Orlando as well. We've seen TOX not win the past couple events. The last event they won was in 2017. Taking a look at the series layout here, kicking things off with Strongholds Eden and Dan, aka Statman. Tell me a little bit about the stats here.
This is a pretty good game type for both teams. A 75% win rate for Splyce across the past 4 LAN events on this game type. For TOX, just a 67% win rate. So you'd say advantage Splyce early on, but we know TOX have got what it takes on this game type as well.
Already off the bat, you see Splyce coming in hot, taking down the players from TOX and getting a little bit of control, but actually not able to capture anything just yet. They'll be able to capture that nest now. Catwalk's still up in the air. Both teams making a battle for that. Shotzzy picks up a kill on Lethal. Will spot the double here inside Blue 2 and be able to get some help to capture off the Catwalk.
This was one of the game types we saw Splyce beat TOX the last time they went up against each other at Columbus as well, so they'll have that in their minds. But have TOX looked over that VOD? Do they know what they need to do now to overturn Splyce? Does anyone know what to do to overturn Splyce? This team have dominated the competition for months and months, but we know that this is the home turf for TOX.
I've talked to a lot of fans out there in the crowd throughout the entire weekend, and almost everyone has said they feel confident Splyce is going to take this. But today, after talking to a few people, they saw Splyce lose a few games yesterday, and they were playing a bit off, so that gave a few fans hope that, you know, TOX, they might be able to take it. I think it could be anybody's game, and I would love to see another Game 7.
Total control already, 23 points on the board. TOX haven't even got a look in. Off the spawn, Splyce are constantly rotating round. They're pincering, and TOX don't have any room to breathe whatsoever. 30 seconds, we've got both Camouflage and Overshield coming up Strongside, so make sure we're looking out for both teams to be trying to set up. Which one do you think is more important, though, Camouflage or Overshield on this?
It really depends. Overshield is going to allow you to make some good pushes and have a player lead the charge and be able to follow up, and it gives you, it's essentially having another player on your team just making that push with you, because you can take so much damage. You're the juggernaut. You can just lead on out, and there we'll see the rockets go into the hands of Splyce. Renegade getting some nades up at top Catwalk, as he's got a fellow teammate pushing up there, but Overshield's coming up. Does he get the ground pound? Yes, he does, denying Snakebite of NEOS.
From the gods, he just slams that one down. And Splyce, even though they haven't been scoring for a little bit, that should allow them some map control now, especially because they were able to take the rockets away from TOX. And Shotzzy, he can be a little bit of a sneaky beaver with the Camouflage here. He's just going to be able to put points on the board once again. And you've got to be very, very careful when you do have the Camouflage, because you have such an important role. You can really make a difference. You've got to put yourself in those power positions, and you've got to make it count.
Shotzzy able to take down Lethal, get some help from Renegade, finishes off Snakebite. He's going to decide to take this slow. No need to rush. Get some help there to finish off Royal 2 and flying in, but he'll get taken down by Frosty. That camo is all but gone.
All these kills are going in favor of Splyce at the moment, outslaying TOX by 7 currently, but this man on your screen, he's certainly going to want to work to get them back into this game. Lethal is one of those players that can do a little bit of everything. He can be your main slayer, he can be your main objective, he can even assist if he wants to. He is a great all-rounder, and now TOX are putting points on the board, but I want to see them start to attack Splyce. I want to see them find them off spawn. Don't give them the chance to go off spawn like like Splyce were doing to TOX earlier.
Folks, if you're just tuning in, this is the winner bracket finals. Let us know who you think's gonna win using the hashtag HaloWC, and you actually can visit us at twitter.com/HCS. We've got a poll out, and you can vote. Is it Splyce or is it going to be TOX? A lot of people are saying TOX. They are the underdog now, and Splyce, they are just going to come through and run house. Here with Lethal hanging back, TOX, they are coming back. He's got some eyes here by Catwalk trying to stay alive. Shotzzy and Renegade both go down, tries to finish off the third one. Frosty will finish off Eco.
This map is all about prioritization, not just the kills, but which strongholds you're going to go for as well. You could see TOX, they wanted Catwalk, and now they get total control as well. Perfect timing to do so, because Overshield, it's about to pop. Camouflage coming up in 3 seconds as well, but it looks like Splyce are going to grab that one. Yes, it's Stellar who gets away with it, and then he darts around to the other side of the map because he knows Camouflage is spawning as well.
Stellar does not want to let them get camo. He is going for that, and I believe that camo will be burned. That's going to be 3 down for TOX. Stellar putting pressure already on the spawns from the Catwalk, and another player putting pressure from the base. Eco getting caught out in the open. Frosty with a lethal light rifle kill. Stellar continuing to pick up kill after kill.
If you consider the start that Splyce had as well, the fact that TOX have been able to maneuver their way back into this game is absolutely incredible. And look at this, look at that teamwork. As soon as Stellar got into a fight, instantly 2 members of TOX made sure they just jumped on him like packs of wolves and didn't let him get away with his life.
The winner of this match will guarantee themselves a top 2 finish. TOX have never placed out of the top 2 ever. This roster never has placed out of the top 2, so they are looking to take this one and guarantee that top 2 finish. Shotzzy spots 2 players. He's gonna back up very intelligently, trying to stay alive and just dipsy-doodling all over this place, making himself such a tough kill. And all the while, Splyce, they're holding the trip cap, but Royal 2 with the ground pound on Eco. All the while, Splyce, they are still putting points on the board. TOX finally able to stop a little bit of the bleeding, and now they're putting some points on the board. But these 2 teams and these players match up so well against each other. We are neck and neck throughout this entire game.
And did you see that commitment from TOX as well, just to get Catwalk? 3 members of TOX all flooded in to make sure they got it, because they knew how important to turn that one over, start putting points on the board, and start to get some aggression of their own. And now just look at them, they're hovering around, they're watching Catwalk, because Catwalk is the center of this map. It's the most important stronghold to be held. Rockets have now spawned, and it's going to be PJ himself, Snakebite, who's going to have those in his back pocket. 10 seconds till camo, 4 seconds till overshield. Snakebite in prime position here.
Prime position indeed. He'll pick up Eco going for the OS, but he'll get taken down as well. And again, Splyce, they're able to secure another overshield. This is continuing to help them battle back to regain control over and over again. They are on top of it. They bait that OS every single time. It looked like Snakebite was baiting it, but you had so many players from Splyce around that overshield. They were able to just back down, or they were able to allow one player to get taken down and then finish off Snakebite.
And this one is so close, but it's TOX who are just ahead. I think we should have a little listen in and see what TOX are thinking at this moment in time.
You go on here, guys. Ultimo still on. You go on him. There's 2 cat. 2 on me. We defend cat. I'm behind him. Nice, TJ. I killed him. Dude, got numbers. Safe one. I shot. I just want him blue 2. Blue window, I shot. Nice, guys. Blue window. Good help. Good shit, guys. Keep this up. I'm getting blue. Anyone get re-on? Yeah, I can go. I spawn. You're gonna be tower. I got cap. Go outside. Everyone come outside, bro. Nice, TJ. Jump on him. Your live's hard here, guys. No. Look blue. Top cat, guys. I need help. Blue door. Stay alive. They're getting blue. They're gonna try to live here. Just live. Members coming. Alright, yeah, we just gotta defend 3. Keep moving. Yeah. There was another guy cat. I have a death cam tower. Spawn red plat. Yeah.
The comms are moving fast here for TOX, and you heard Royal 1, the coach. He's hopping in there as well, making sure the communication line is getting across to every player so they know exactly what is going on. You heard TOX saying, stay alive once they had 2 players down. They don't want to get caught in a bad cycle.
This looks really rough for Splyce, because at the moment they're all kind of hovering around bottom middle. Finally, Renegade's able to actually get some height, but look at them instantly reacting to callouts. loadouts. I know we just heard TOX's communications, but you can see from the body language of the Spartans, Splyce moving to every single position on the map as soon as there's any sort of confrontation. But Frosty has some rockets in his back pocket, and this is really going to count going into the late stages of this game.
Splyce still putting points on the board. These are the last few moments of the game. Frosty, he's able to get the rocket, but he does not get the kill. Shotzzy punishing Frosty, staying alive, but this time Snakebite's able to get the overshield. He doesn't have much time though. He's got to get in this stronghold. He's got to stay alive. One down for both teams. Snakebite in here. Time is ticking. He cannot get out of this hill. He is able to get the capture with his teammate right there. TOX holding on. If Splyce capture this stronghold, they will secure this win. All players from Splyce in the stronghold, but they can't do it. TOX, they get the reset. Splyce have one last opportunity. This is the chance. They have to make something happen, but TOX is giving them no time. They're going for the trip cap.
Snakebite is doing so much right now, trying to contest Red Nats. Gets a big Splyce down.
They're
Splyce
able to
take it
get
back.
It's Splyce. No, they don't. TOX, they reverse it again. What is happening in this game? Both teams battling to the finish. And TOX, they get the trip cap. And oh my God, folks, just when you thought it wasn't possible, TOX dig themselves out of that grave, and they bring home the win here in game number 1.
This is what we didn't see from TOX in Columbus. We didn't see those clutch moments right at the end of the game, but they bound together, they prioritized well, they knew who they had to push, they threw the grenades in the right places, and they deserved the win because of it as well. You heard the crowd erupt. You know how important this event is to TOX. 24-14 for Frosty. What an incredible performance from him.
I'll be honest, Dan, I couldn't really tell what was happening there at the end of the game. So much chaos going back and forth from Catwalk to Nest over to Blue Bend. I can't even talk because I can't believe what just happened. TOX brought that out at the very last moment in the game when it looked like Splyce had made a clutch play to finish it off.
I mean, Splyce, they heavily committed to Catwalk, and of course it was the right decision. If they had taken that right at that moment, they would have won the game, but it was Snakebite and co just throwing grenades in. There was one player, I think it was Snakebite, darted in to make sure he gets the reset, and then they instantly sprint to the next stronghold, and they go back and forth to make sure that even off the spawn, Splyce couldn't secure the game. What a way to kick off the winners bracket finals. I'm sure the crowd loved that one. I'm sure everyone watching at home loved that one as well, because I bloomin' loved it, strong side.
What a game. That's definitely going down in the books, in the history books here for competitive Halo. One of the best games I've ever watched of Strongholds on Eden. But we are going into game number 2. Slayer on Coliseum, 50 kills to win. You know this game type well. We've got Sniper, we've got Rockets, and we're going to be seeing some epic plays.
Now this is a better game type for Splyce. They are undefeated in the last 10 games on LAN on Slayer Coliseum. However, for TOX, just a 33% win rate since Columbus, so they do struggle here, but maybe the momentum from that game can carry them through. But I'm really going to hedge my bets on Splyce in this one.
You saw Frosty wanting to get that sniper off the map. He does not want to allow anyone from Splyce to get that in their hands and just start doing work. Rockets did go into the hands of Renegade though, and now we're seeing 2 players from TOX fall. Shotzzy catching the player at the back of Red. He finishes off lethal, picks up the double. He's got to get his shields back, look across the map as the other team is going to be spawning over by Blue Base, and look at the pressure they're putting on. They've got a player over, they've got Stellar over at Blue Elbow, and he's just constantly putting aggression on, not letting TOX make any type of move.
You're completely right. Pressure is the key word. It's the reason why Splyce are so good at this game type, why they're so good at CTF Truth as well, because they are relentless with the amount of pressure they put on their opponents. They make sure as soon as they spawn that they at least have eyes on them. They communicate. They watch where they're going. They almost track them like predators. It's incredible to watch them on a game type like this.
Renegade over by Snipe. That first sniper was burned. It was thrown off the map by Frosty, so we'll see that next snipe coming up in about a minute and a half. Renegade moving in towards Blue, trying to spot a player over here. He saw a grenade come over, so he knows someone's hiding around here. He spots lethal, gets him down to 1 shot. Gonna have Eco there. Nice teamwork from Splyce, continuing to just tag team every player they find. The duo teamwork in this roster is unbelievable. Splyce, they love to practice 2v2s. They practice 2v2s over and over again. They like to play 2v2s more than 4v4 to work on that type of teamwork, and it shows in their game. When they move around the map, they're always trying to find their teammate, find that player that they can help out. And now over to Snakebite, trying to get away with the rockets. He's able to just narrowly escape.
And really important that he did escape as well. I mean, one thing that some players do when they grab those rockets is they just turn and they run. But by Snakebite taking that fight aggressively, putting those shots, it also meant that the opposition had to retreat as well, leading to him surviving. That's so important. Everyone knows survival is key in Halo 5. Now, I know, Mike, I was saying that this is Splyce's best game type. They're undefeated. But the one team that took them close at Columbus was TOX. It was 50-48 at Columbus when they last played. TOX was so close but couldn't quite get there. Maybe they can do what we just saw in the previous game and take them right down to the wire.
Right, you are. And in Columbus as well, during that grand finals matchup, we saw out of the 9 games that they played, TOX was only able to win 1 game. Splyce, out of back-to-back series, they were able to take 4 in the first one, and in that next one they took 4, and that's where they gave up that one game. But right now you're seeing Splyce really just keep control of the map. Snipers on the map as well. If Splyce or TOX get control of this, it could be lethal. We're seeing Frosty now take the snipe over to Blue Cave. He is a man we've seen time and time again pull off insane plays here with the sniper. He's able to hit the body shot in the red cave to finish off the kill. He knows someone's hiding here over by Snipe, but he can't quite figure out where they just ran to. Hits the body shot. Snakebite finishes off the kill, and he is just continuing to run house here by the sniper and just destroy anyone from Splyce that pushes on him.
The one thing that makes TOX such an incredible team is how well they adapt to the scenario they are put in. They are a very reactive team. If Splyce are making some sort of plays, TOX will kind of calculate that, and they'll make a decision because of it. Frosty's in an awkward situation, doesn't find the no-scope. Would have been fantastic if he does. But notice how every time TOX are behind, they bide their time, and they push when a power weapon is spawning. They waited maybe 20-30 seconds just so they could push and get that sniper rifle there.
Snakebite rotating around the map. 1 shot left in the chamber. He'll get some use out of that and take down Renegade with a headshot. Again, Snakebite doing so much work to keep these power weapons in his team's hands. Rockets will not be very effective this go around. Both of those will be burned. Renegade down at bottom middle, trying to flank around towards this snipe side, getting call outs from everywhere, but cannot find anyone just yet. Lethal and another player from TOX are going to be able to spot him and take him out.
You can see the confidence from Splyce as well. They're just roaming around bottom middle half the time. They know in a 1v1 situation, their shots are on. You've got to remember, Splyce, they don't really do online scrims. You know, I like my research. I couldn't find anything on online scrims, really. They 2v2 each other half the time.
I believe they only had 1 practice scrim before this event, and that was the only one they've had even before Orlando. And I asked them about it, and they said, oh, we were just bored, we wanted to play a couple games. And they got a couple games in, they won the series matchup, and then they just carried on doing their 2v2s.
Meanwhile, TOX are clawing their way back into this, but I think we should have a little listen to the boys of Splyce and see what they have to say.
Okay. You guys should work together, rocket side. Ready, Mar? Okay.
So blue elbow, there's a guy, I think, yeah.
Let's push blue silver. Let's go silver to shit.
He's weak, blue shirt, easy skill.
Talk shooting me. I got shots.
Bottom move right now. Bottom? Yeah. He's weak. Got him.
You ready, Mar? I'm coming.
One. And they're pushing me, 2 guys in red, I think. He's red BR or some shit.
Red fountain, one shot red sniper. 1 shot red fountain as well.
You guys drum race. I'm here.
No. You have to go. Box. Let's get last guy.
Brayden's got
that blue.
I got him.
I'm getting these rockets. They're gonna be blue. There's no blue sniper, Kevin.
Blue window. I'm not getting these rockets. I'm getting the fuck out of them.
Yeah, go. Yeah, we left snipe, guys. I'm gonna go pyramid for you. Yeah, keep snipe.
I'm no shields.
Pyramid.
We're hearing a bit more energy from the Splyce team than we've heard in the past. You can tell they have got more energy going up against a team they know can put up a good fight against them. Leading the series against them, TOX, you can tell they're maybe putting a little bit of fear into Splyce. Everyone was feeling like Splyce was going to take this series easily, but now we've got Stellar with a sniper leading by 7. Take a look at the right side of the screen. We've got a tweet from Mist Fox, and oh my god, what a game one. Insane gameplay, both Splyce and TOX Gaming. This is going to be one god-tier series of Halo to watch, and nothing less than that.
Meanwhile, just 2 more kills needed for Splyce. It doesn't even really matter that Snakebite has a sniper rifle because Splyce can get so aggressive on TOX now, and they can make sure they put this game to bed comfortably. Both of these teams, when they lose games, they get angry, and they are very scary off the back of a loss, but we know how dominant Splyce are on this game type. And with just 2 needed, Mike, I think they should be able to get there.
Make that 1 needed here. A Snakebite, he's going to get caught here in the corner. Can he stay alive? He's able to get out of dodge a rocket across the map from Eco, just trying to finish off that last kill. Splyce scattered all over the map, and TOX, they're hanging back. They have to play defensive right now. They can't put themselves in a bad situation. Renegade's pushing up towards top rockets, and Shotzi, he's found an opening. He's going in. Can he get the kill? No, he's not able to, but there is Stellar behind enemy lines, pushing up. Eco right behind him, and they are going to be able to do it. Splyce take game number 2. And we are all tied up here in this series, 1-1.
I'm really happy they got aggressive there in the end. I mean, credit to Shotzi. Yes, okay, he lost that individual fight, but he was the one who had some cojones and said, actually, I'm just going to push in. I'm going to take a fight. It allowed the rest of his team to flank round. He was a little bit of a distraction at the end. Some teams will just hover back and they'll wait for the right moment, but you know Splyce, we know how aggressive they are. They just took the moment right in front of them, and what a series we have on our hands. Stellar, 18 and 12. On the other side, though, Lethal, 8 and 12, but we do know, Mike, that is probably TOX's worst game type in this series, let alone throughout any map that they play.
Taking a look at those stats, the accuracy was high there for Stellar and Renegade. Always with incredible shots. The individual skill, not just from the Splyce roster, but from the TOX roster as well. 8 of the most individually talented players in Halo 5 for quite some time now.
I mean, these kids are insane. It's pretty disgusting how good all 8 of these players are, but the fact, I mean, Shotzi is 16 years old. He's doing things that none of us could even imagine maybe at that age. Well, maybe you. I don't know about me when I was playing back in the day. But next game, Mike, is going to be Truth Capture the Flag, and probably bad news for TOX fans because it is another incredible game for Splyce, another 100% record on LAN since Orlando, Mike. Not since Columbus, since Orlando they have been undefeated, whereas we've already seen TOX, they've lost to Elevate on this game type. They've lost to Reciprocity on this game type. It's going to be a struggle.
And you're talking about how they haven't lost this game type yet. Not just that, I got a chance to talk to Eco before the match. He said both times when they played at this tournament, they were able to finish the game in under 3 minutes. Once against Infused, once against Team Envious. Kicking things off here with Stellar. He's got his eyes on Camo. Baiting the Camo. Letting TOX make a move for it. Let him go for it. Pick up the kill, burn Camo. You don't have to worry about anybody sneaking around you. So Stellar playing a bit more passive there at the start of the game. And we talk about how Splyce, they're a very aggressive team, but they do have their moments when they play passive, and they know those right moments when to throw off the other team. Finishing off, Frosty gets into a 1v1 battle with Lethal, and he'll get the best of Stellar there.
And now if you're a TOX fan and you're wondering whether TOX can go all the way this tournament, I think this game is going to be a big telltale sign. If they can take this to Splyce and beat them on what I believe to be their best game type, then we know full well TOX are here to play. You might be wondering why Splyce are so good. Watch out for their flag movement, when they pull those flags, where they pull those flags. We saw them against one of the European teams run every flag top middle because they were dominating so much.
Well, look at this, Dan. They are flying into the base, and TOX is out of the base in the blink of an eye. They're running the flag towards Pink 1, Royal 2, catching players off spawn, but they were able to stop the flag. Splyce was able to finish off not just 1, but 2 players from TOX towards Pink side and make their way across the map.
But still, that flag is being moved. We can see it's over at P1, and there's kill after kill. Royal 2, Frosty, but still Splyce are throwing grenades. They're stopping that flag from being moved, but finally Snakebite's going to get his palms on it.
Can he get around
as well? That's so massive. TOX, they really are here to play this series.
He's going to run this in. He's got a teammate nearby to give some cover, and TOX go up 1-0, and not just that, Royal 2 is running a second flag, but that'll be stopped. The flag is still alive, though. Snakebite, he has got his eyes here. No player from Splyce in position to get that return, but they're able to give some pressure against that flag. And it looks like no one from TOX either able to make it there. Stellar with a quick return.
Maybe TOX learning something from their oppositions there. That's something we've seen Splyce do this tournament. When they get that first flag capture, they instantly go for the second whilst their enemies are out of position trying to get the flag return. Unfortunately, didn't work out as well for TOX. Really good defensive maneuvers from Splyce. And look, there's a camouflage as a reward for Eco as well. And now he can push in with his teammates. Make sure that no one is spawning P here to try and be a nuisance, but he spots Frosty P2. He should be in a decent position to get a back smack.
Nice.
This is so patient.
Easy it is.
Let's
just take it slow. Frosty goes down with a stick to the face, but Eco, he'll get followed up by Lethal, and that camo is no more. Lethal in control of Pink 2. Nades going in towards Red 2. You can see TOX surrounding all of Splyce's base. Lethal getting that height advantage. He has Frosty moving in with him. The teamwork is coming in fast here at Red 2. A double kill from Lethal. Going for that third. He picks up the headshot. We've got 2 down for Splyce. Lethal doing everything he can. Can he do it? He'll not be able to get that kill. He is going to have to regroup once again as TOX. They have the lead. That's an okay play in my book. If they're making a charge and they all die inside Splyce's base and no one from Splyce is at theirs to get a flag, hey, they're gonna spawn right back up and they can give it another shot.
Well, what did I say last game about TOX? A very reactive team. They've noted that Splyce are aggressive. They play this game type fast. And TOX, they're trying to slow it down a little bit with their top middle control, with their P control. They're waiting for Splyce to push out of the base and they're shutting them down one by one. But instead of just swarming in and going for that flag capture, because they're 1-0 up, they're just keeping Splyce at bay, waiting for the right moment, trying to spawn trap them. But meanwhile, Splyce, they finally figured a way to get into this base. Renegade's moving the flag, but he does have a little bit of a fumble on the way.
Yeah, not a good fumble. That's going to waste about 4 or 5 seconds of time, but it doesn't look like it's going to matter because Splyce, they're able to just dominate the slaying department and allow Renegade to go into the base untouched. And again, now we're seeing Splyce get 3 down for TOX. Last player alive underneath the base. Snakebite trying to stay alive. He can't get away. Renegade looking at the spawns, and they're already making their way over to Splyce's base. Can Shotzi make it back?
And Camouflage is coming up as well. He should be able to put this one in because no one's there to contest, but I'd imagine a TOX members probably picked up the Camouflage whilst all that happened. We will check. Actually, no, Eco somehow picks up the Camouflage amongst all that. So despite running a flag, they also get the camo as well. But there are 4 kills for TOX, and they're going to be swarming into this base. They need to play a little bit more aggressively. I was saying they were trying to control top middle, but I think Splyce have now reacted to the reaction of TOX and have slightly switched up their game plan as well.
Continuing to stay with Shotzi through the respawn here, going underneath his base, up 2-1. They can take things a little bit slower, but they're an aggressive team, so they are not ever going to take things much slower. Finding Lethal, Pink 2 finishes him off with a headshot, getting some high ground here, able to get some great sight lines across the map, all the way over towards Car's side. You see Stellar go down, but Shotzi able to pick up the kill on Royal 2. You've got TOX spawning over by Car. Shotzi trying to finish off some kills over here. Can he finish off Lethal? Yes, he does. Just continuously with the smooth and crispy shots from Shotzi.
Flag's being moved as well. I think it's in the hands of Renegade. Yes, it is. He does miss the jump, but I don't think it matters because Slays are going to be here, there, and everywhere. Ground pound for the win. Splyce go 2-1 up despite losing game 1. What a way to react to that 100-99 we saw earlier.
Folks, if you're just tuning in, this is the winner bracket finals. It's Splyce versus TOX Gaming. Splyce is up 2-1 in the series. Bust out some popcorn. Kick your feet up because this is going to be one hell of a show. This is a best-of-7 series. Going into game number 4, it's going to be Strongholds Plaza, but let's take a look at the stats here and see what Splyce did here. And actually, wow, take a look at this. TOX, they outslayed Splyce. 41-37.
I mean, this is what happened in the mid-game. When they went 1-0 up, they kind of just sat there and they just slayed Splyce, and they didn't really push in for one of those flags. And whilst I credited it at the time, maybe in hindsight they might believe they should have got slightly more aggressive and started pushing for those flags. But they know Splyce are relentless on this game type. If they gave them an inch, they're going to take a mile when it comes to capture the flag truth. A really well-played game from Splyce, though. They noticed the plan from TOX to try and react to their aggression, but they just reacted to the reaction.
Yeah, maybe not under 3-minute game, but a win nonetheless. TOX definitely put up a good fight. Going into game number 4, can TOX rally back here? Can they tie the series back up 2-2? Folks, do we have any TOX fans out in the crowd? Doesn't sound like too many TOX fans. Are there Splyce fans out in the crowd? Sounds like we got some more Splyce fans here. Folks at home, let us know, who are you rooting for? Is it Splyce or is it TOX? Using the hashtag HaloWC, let us know what you think.
Strongholds Plaza is going to be game number 4. And actually, Splyce have only lost this game type once. Do you know who they lost it to? They lost it to Infused of all teams this tournament. That's since Orlando as well. So it's a pretty good game type, but maybe they're looking a little bit rocky. For TOX, a 75% win rate for them on this, so I'm expecting big things from the boys in blue. Or should I say white, as we see the hoodie from Royal 2.
Frosty with an early camo grab, trying to do everything to just sneak out of here and stay alive. He keeps getting spotted though, down to no shields again, just retreating every chance he can get, just using any type of cover to get away. And look at that, TOX really doing a great job at keeping Frosty alive, because this will definitely help ensure a capture, not just here at bottom mid, but it's going to allow them to be able to pick up some sneaky charges and get behind enemy lines and sneak behind Splyce to pick up a few easy kills.
When we saw these two teams go up against each other on this game type in Columbus as well, TOX didn't really get a look in. I believe it was 100-33 in favor of Splyce, and right from the get-go, Splyce were in their faces, they were rotating well, they were trapping TOX in yard, and TOX just couldn't find that way to escape. However, it seems like TOX have found that early game presence that they really needed to take it to Splyce here. They were able to get that camouflage, they've got the early control, and now Frosty is going to be a nuisance in yard.
Frosty staying alive with the plasma pistol combo here, waiting for anybody to charge out to him. It's going to be an easy kill, but Stellar, he'll get down to one shot. Shotzi and Eco go down, 2 down for Splyce. TOX now able to make a bit of an aggressive push. He's going to find a sneaky Renegade coming up behind him and give him a nice old back smack. Frosty now able to stay alive here by the light rifle, just containing this area, making sure that they're able to keep control of the basement and nest, not letting Splyce really push out from the yard.
And now awareness is something that is definitely huge, and it always has been in Halo, but of course, in recent editions and recent Halo World Championships, the radar was always on, but now it's been changed. Now you don't show up on that radar if you're not sprinting, if you're not using those Spartan abilities. So you do have to use your ears, you have to use your team communication. Speaking of communication, camouflage is coming up in 5 seconds, Mike, so expect to see the teams darting towards the middle to try and take that one.
Royal 2 down at bottom middle. A trip cap still by Splyce as they're bringing themselves back into this game. Strongholds, always a game type where you can come back when it looks like there is no hope. Players and teams have made some of the most insane comebacks, and there you see Camo get burned by Lethal. Splyce again, just baiting the power-ups time and time again. We saw them baiting it on Eden Strongholds, that overshield, forcing the players from TOX to make a move. They're able to pick up an easy kill, and Splyce, they just pick up the OS, they walk through, and they're like, hey, thanks for the OS, thanks for the 1 or 2 kills.
I don't know how Splyce do it. They are being outslayed by about 10 to 12 kills right now, yet they're still winning the game. Their presence on every area of the map is absolutely nuts. They seem to be everywhere. Their communication is on point. They're always there to assist their teammates, and it seems like TOX just can't keep up with the speed of Splyce. Now, I know Splyce are the young guns, and we have some old uns in the likes of TOX, but we know full well TOX can keep up with them when they're playing at their best.
Over to Eco. We'll stay with him through the respawn and see what he's going to be able to do. You'll see players from TOX making their way towards bottom middle. Eco throwing a nade off spawn down by truck. Renegade's able to pick up a kill on Snakebite. Eco throwing just a precautionary grenade just to make sure that player did go down, as he saw Red X there for Renegade. Eco continuing on, just playing very, very aggressive. And Splyce, they've got to bring themselves back into this. Not down by much, but let's check in with them and hear what their comms are like. Let's jump into a listen in.
He's right here on us. He's somewhere. He's like in market or blue ramp, Brid.
I think he just went by.
I'm glass.
Might be top yellow.
Dude, he's hotel. He's
What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm
Hotel weak.
We all pushing blue?
Yeah,
You'll live right now.
And LR tunnel to yard. No, he's not. Top yellow. He's top yellow 1.
He dipped. He's literally in dip.
Hit him with a nade. 2-shot hotel.
Type yellow, so.
1-shot hotel. I didn't kill him. 1-shot hotel. Snake bite. 1-shot hotel. Snake bite. I died.
2-shot 38. Yo, camo 38.
Rossi's 1-shot top nest. There's another one LR, guys. He's like tram.
So live, gone. 38. No,
Camo,
guys, we gotta get this camo.
He went your
Nah,
side.
camo's up now.
Yo, tell me.
He's on camo.
No one on it.
No, another one on it. He's weak at that shit.
One soda.
Watch out, check.
Got him. I'm going nest.
Nice, so go
It's still camera, right? Yeah, cameras on me. I shot him.
Someone's gotta kill that guy. Last guy blue ramp. In dip,
Yo, hop on him.
in dip, weak as fuck.
He's counter.
He's bottom mid.
He's on me.
They're coming from tip. They're all in blue going yard. Blue yard, blue yard, blue yard, blue yard, blue yard. I'm leaving nest. I left nest. I left nest, John. Do not get shot in the back.
Oh, no.
Let's stop this, guys. Let's stop this.
I got one in yard. Push that. Literally.
Behind you guys. Yard BR.
Okay, I'm not fine at that. I'm going back to blue. You guys good? Are you guys good? Yeah. Top nest, watch out. In the corner. Absolutely in the corner. There's you guys there. I can't stop that.
You heard Skeptical, the coach of Splyce, call out camo is coming up, and you saw all players from Splyce put their focus towards that camo, and they were able to pick up a few kills as they baited again that camo here in the game. They were able to pick up a trip cap for just a moment. But Dan, anything special? What did you see?
I mean, it's just the communication from Splyce. How calm they are, despite the fact they were 20 points down, and now they've brought it back. It's almost a tied game once again because they keep their composure. And if you consider the age of some of these players, the fact that they can have that composure, it's absolutely phenomenal. Total control once again. You force TOX back into yard. You've got the aggression. You can now make the decision of where you want to push, or you can play defensively. You can wait for TOX come to you. Splyce, they're in their element right now. They're really enjoying themselves.
Wow, Renegade getting dropped so fast there, just slowly peeking around the corner. He couldn't do anything. TOX lit him up. Snakebite going for the bottom middle capture. He'll be able to get that, and TOX, excuse me, back in control. Snakebite making his way around, and you'll see TOX going for that nest. They're going for the trip cap. They're leaving yard and going for a switcheroo as Splyce is going to capture yard. TOX, they're going to pick up nest.
TOX are doing so well to keep in this game. If you consider the fact how well Splyce have played throughout the past few events on this game type, maybe putting to aside their loss to Infused, TOX have, it seems to me like they've watched over VODs because they're expecting where Splyce is going to be pushing, where Splyce is going to be holding. Now I know the meta game of Halo has kind of been sussed out, but certainly Splyce are one of those teams that can be a little bit unpredictable, but TOX seem to be predicting the unpredictable.
And look at this. This time, Splyce, they were ready for this camo. They were set up. They were in prime position, and Renegade, he was able to pick up the camo, no problem, and not just the camo, picking up a double kill on Lethal and Royal too. The teamwork is outstanding from this Splyce roster. Both teams, every single time, battling back and forth. Neither team really getting a commanding lead throughout this game. I mean, we saw what happened in game one. It went down to the wire when it looked like TOX was able to come back, and then Splyce looked like they were going to win. TOX made the impossible possible, so I'm sure we're going to see something crazy happen in the last moments here because we are all tied up 70-70 as TOX regain control. And now Splyce able to clear house here by the yard and regain control of this strong.
Yeah, Renegade got the lawnmower out then and just started mowing the yard. That was incredible. Grenades flying in. He survived as well. Absolutely insane stuff. He's on a tear right now. You can tell he's confident in his shot. He doesn't quite survive here though, but look at him just dashing around. Look at the movement of this man to stay alive. How is he not dead yet? He's got so much help from his teammates and he's going to regain his shields, Mike.
And he's not just that, he's battling back. Once he's got his shields back, he's immediately engaging in battle, helping out his team. Shotzzy with the double kill. Splyce 81-73. They've got control. They've got high ground, and they are just keeping TOX at bay. TOX are going to spawn up in Cafe. You've got pressure coming in from Splyce, over from Flowers. Shotzzy checking his 6, making sure no one's there. 3 players around bottom middle from TOX. All 4 players keeping themselves around that center area of the map to make some quick plays to regain control.
Camouflage is going to be spawning in about 10 seconds. Probably one of the most important camouflages of the game now as well, because you can make some really big plays. However, you can see there is control on both sides of the map for each team. It's not going to be easy to grab one of these camouflages unless a team miscalculates the timing. And right from under his nose, we see a Splyce member grab it. And of course, who else but Shotzzy?
Shotzzy, the man who knows every single sneaky jump. This man's a monkey on every single map. He knows how to spring jump. He knows every little sneaky maneuver on these maps, and he'll have you guessing where he's at every single time. Renegades picking up a kill on Royal 2, but they still don't have control as TOX tie up the game 88-88. This is another nail biter, Dan. Folks at home, get at the edge of your seat right now because I have no clue who is going to win this game. 3 go down for TOX. Splyce back in control, and they're about to capture bottom mid.
I mean, TOX were doing really well off the spawn. They were flooding bottom mid one by one. They gained so much points there, but meanwhile, someone crept off. They got total control here from Splyce, and TOX now spawning in yard are going to find it so difficult because they're going to walk into a shotgun. Oh, where's he gone? Oh, that would have been absolutely disgusting, but Splyce, they're getting so close from side.
Yeah, 97 points right now. You see Splyce pushing in for the yard, trying to get that trip cap, and TOX, they have to push. There's nothing they can do, but Splyce, they're going to be able to do it. They're taking game number 4. They're leading the series 3-1. You see the composure. You see how focused they are. They're ready to keep this series going and close it out in 5 games.
Do you know what a huge moment of that game was? When Shotzzy just decided to be a little sneaky beaver and just pop up, grab that camouflage right from under the noses.
TOX was everywhere.
TOX. They were everywhere. They were watching it. They thought they had the timing, but then the fact Shotzzy got it just kind of overwhelmed TOX a little bit. It kind of bewildered them and they didn't really know what to do. We saw them darting bottom middle one by one, and they were doing so well to get time, but it allowed Shotzzy and the rest of the boys on Splyce to get those kills individually, finally get all 4 dead. They got control and they pushed on to get them.
Incredible plays, non-stop, always down to the wire. I'm having a feeling that TOX, they're pissed off after that game. I'm having a feeling they're going to make a comeback. Let us know what you think at home. Is it TOX? If you're in the Twitch chat, throwing a TOX or throwing a Splyce. Who's taking this next game?
I've got some good news, finally, for TOX fans. We have a good game type coming up for you, TOX fans. So if you are in the audience, make some noise if you're a fan of TOX. Okay, that's a little bit quieter than I was expecting.
I'm telling you, the Splyce fans, they've come out for this event.
Maybe they
Splyce fans, are you out there? Yeah, the Splyce fans are here, Dan.
I heard at least one boo. Well, the good news, Slayer regret. TOX, they are undefeated on this game type since Columbus. They beat Splyce 50-27 the last time they faced them, so maybe this might be their way back into the series.
As they make their move for Overshield here at bottom mid, you're gonna see a quick play by Shotzzy again, just picking up another power-up, taking down Snakebite, continuing where he left off here in this last game.
Maybe we'll see a 100% record being broken here, and I think if anyone's going to do it, it's probably going to be Splyce as well, as that's a really nice early start. Of course, starting strategy on regret is so important because of that overshield that does sit bottom middle, because usually you're going to be the one who's going to grab it if you get those early trades, you get those early kills, and how important is this plasma pistol as well? Shotzzy should try and survive here. He's going to try and dip,
How is he alive?
dodge, and dive. That's what I ask myself every time I watch Splyce. How are they alive? Their movement, their maneuvers, they're absolutely phenomenal.
I swear, when I try that, I'm dead every time. I'm dead every time. Not a chance, but Shotzzy still alive, down to no shields again. He just continues on throughout this entire game. Shotzzy now at top middle. And you see, he takes a look over by Eco, seeing if he needs help. He's got Stellar over there, so he's gonna make his way over towards the spawners, towards blue. He's getting a nice flank here. Nice easy kill on Frosty, an assassination. Shotzzy, you never know where he's coming from. He could be flanking you. He could be coming up from in front of you, or even on this map, we've seen him soaring and exploring through the air here from top middle.
I wouldn't be surprised if Shotzzy came down my chimney at Christmas, to be honest. He is everywhere at the moment, and they have a really nice lead currently. You saw the aggression from Shotzzy. As soon as he saw 2 people being killed by his teammates, he just instantly darted into that base. You hold top middle, you get that early 1, that early 2 kills, and then the rest of you, you have to swarm, you have to just destroy those 2 people that are spawning alone. Use the man advantage, use the numbers advantage whilst you've still got it, because this game can be flipped on its head so quickly. Soon, maybe, let's say, a minute down the line, you might be on the receiving end of the spawn trap.
Has he died yet? Has Shotzzy died yet? I just cursed him. Finally, he goes down. That was his first death. He's got 4 kills as well, and this next overshield is about to pop, and you'll see on your screen it's up. Stellar not able to get that overshield slammed into his chest, but he will be able to get the burn.
Big triple from Eco. I mean, that wasn't the flashiest of triples. They were all one-shots, but you know how important that was because he stopped an overshield being picked up, or his teammate, sorry, lost an overshield. I mean, these Splyce boys, they're everywhere on the map right now, and look how he just wanders bottom middle. Look at this confidence from every person on this team.
Eco with the killing spree, taking a look here as his teammates get all these players one shot, and again for Eco. How is he alive? I don't know. He just continues on. Him and Shotzzy, everyone on this team, they always stay alive. And folks, if you're trying to figure out what you need to be doing better at home, just stay alive. Do what these guys are doing. Watch them play because they are at the top of their game right now in Halo 5. And some may say this is the best Halo 5 team out there in 2018.
Half the time when I'm watching Splyce, I can't tell if I'm watching free-for-all or fours because these players individually just roam around the map and they just finish off any battle they witness. But Lethal, he's trying to rally his troops here. TOX know they need to win this game type, otherwise they will drop to that elimination bracket. We know TOX can come back in these game types as well. If anyone could do it, they can.
Down by good margin here. TOX have got their work cut out for them. Snakebite is pushing on the other side, and you'll see Shotzzy pick up a perfect kill on him. So take a look at that as well. You saw Snakebite pushing up by himself. Lethal was hanging back. It does seem like there's some miscommunication here on this TOX roster. They're really getting caught off on their own. And I mean, Splyce, they are just running through TOX. The teamwork is so much more fluent with the Splyce roster. And we're going to see Overshield pop here in about 10 seconds.
One of the things that is really difficult when you get a bit flustered in Halo 5, when you are on that spawn trap, when everyone is everywhere, you sometimes take the lead of a teammate and you just follow them, but that opens you up to grenades, to splash damage, and then both of you fall as Overshield pops. There is a Splyce member on it. Does he survive? Yes, he does. Bad news goes worse for TOX.
In a missed assassination, I believe that's what we just saw on Renegade, but he is going to be able to stay alive and showing some body disrespect towards Snakebite. Renegades, he is feeling good. He is on fire. He's feeling hot, and not just him. His whole team is feeling hot right now as he's going to be soaring through the top of the map, making some flashy plays, gets the plasma pistol hit to get that player down to one shot.
I think this is what we used to call montage time now for Splyce. As I said, the last time these two faced up on this map, it was TOX actually steak dinnering Splyce, but it looks like Splyce are out for revenge. They want to sink their teeth into a medium rare this time. And it doesn't matter what member is top middle from TOX. There's always someone on Splyce just to pelt them in the back with bullets.
The quick teamwork, the ground pound coming in. Renegade loves to go for the flashy plays. Renegade making his way back towards pink, but look at this. They are doubling the score of TOX. What you said happened last time, it was 50 to 22. It's about to be around that same score right now on the opposing side.
Eco is currently 14-4, going +10 every single battle. It doesn't matter. Body disrespect is coming here, there, and everywhere because Splyce know they are hurtling towards the grand finals here at the Halo World Championships.
And winning this series guarantees an extra 100,000 for the winner. Second place is 200,000. Third place is 100,000. So Splyce definitely going to be feeling good after this game because they are going to have a nice, well-done steak as Shotzzy picks up the double kill and the final kill here to close out the series. Splyce move on. They're headed to the grand finals.
I mean, that series was a lot closer than maybe the score would suggest. If we go back to that very first map, TOX taking it right to Splyce, but I think maybe they angered these absolute animals on Halo 5 because they came back with a vengeance and they pelted these TOX boys into the ground. Absolutely unreal stuff as we take a look at the statistics. Eco, what does this man eat? Because I would like some.
Almost doubling the kills of TOX, 50 to 27. Check out the slays. 15 kills from Eco, Shotzzy 13, Stellar 12, and Renegade 10 and 10. Big plays from everyone on Splyce. You know, this young crew, when you talk to them, they're a bunch of kids. They're having a blast. They just want to win. They're so focused. They're so determined. They just want to win constantly. It doesn't matter who they're playing. They could be playing anybody. They're having fun. We saw earlier, Friday and Saturday, they're trying crazy montage flashy plays. They're just having fun, man, playing Halo, and they are really freaking good.
I think one of the important things is we heard the crowd. There was a lot of Splyce fans in the audience today, and I think that's very important for some of these Splyce players. They thrive off of the crowd energy. They want people to want them to win, and it seems like they just... Have you ever seen Monsters Inc., you know, where they suck out the screams? I feel like Splyce, they're sucking out people's cheering, and they're performing better because of it. Every game type was executed fairly successfully. I'm not going to say perfectly, because Splyce, they did bleed a little bit. But if we look back at Columbus, Splyce, they dropped from the winner's bracket. They had to win 2 best-of-7s to be able to overturn TOX in the finals. But now, maybe we're going to see the opposite of that.
Well, the 2-time Halo World Champions, TOX, their backs are against the wall, and they're going to be fighting through the elimination bracket. But we do have an interview on the floor. Lottie, over to you.
Shotzi, congratulations. You are through to the grand finals. Can we get a big round of applause, please, audience? Well done. Well, obviously, we see what you guys do so well, but it's not often that we touch upon what you don't do. So, obviously, Strongholds Eden, TOX did take that game from you guys. It was very close at the end. Why couldn't you guys just take that win?
Game 1, we started off really weird for some reason, but I mean, obviously, TOX came out with the W. It's because, like, I felt like the communication was all, like, hectic because, like, everything was, like the game was, like, so fast-paced that we couldn't, like, really react as fast as they could, I guess you could say. So we unfortunately ended losing Game 1, but finished out the series with 4-1.
Okay, well, you're 1 game away from winning that final. $500,000. How would that change your life if you had that in the bank?
I haven't really thought about it like that. I'm probably just gonna like let my parents handle that. But
Very responsible. I love that. Very responsible, Shotzi. It would be pretty cool though, right? Would you buy any more sandals with it? Because I know you're a big fan.
No, these are the ones I've been winning with since my last year, so I'm gonna keep these ones.
I like it. They're lucky sandals. Very good. And of course, you're going into the grand final now. But also, you're a very young player, so do you have any advice for any young players like yourself? You only started just over a year ago, and if they wanted to be as good as you one day?
I would say work hard, play hard, and eventually you'll get what you want.
Love it. Very simple. Work hard, and you'll get what you want. Shotzi, well done. Really awesome work. Boys, back to on the desk.
What are those? I had to do that, man. Oh, my God. Oh. I was going to do it. And I'm so glad he did it too with me, WB. Thank you so much. All right, well, congratulations to Splyce. They're going to be moving on to the grand finals here at the Halo World Championship to play for $500,000. An absolutely dominating performance, crippling the 2-time Halo World Champions TOX. Let's just jump right into the replays and break this down. I guess, Clutch, we'll start with you. This was a very close neck-and-neck game. I thought we were going to be in for one hell of a series.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
I guess the Game 1 was it.
I'm not really sure how TOX ended up even winning this game, to be honest with you, because their power weapon and power-up control throughout the entire series was just not enough. It's not going to cut it, especially against a team like this Splyce roster. I mean, I thought that they got this trip cap here, and I thought that they were going to run away with it for the rest of the game, but TOX ended up weathering the storm and pulling out this 99 to 100 win. But that was the last time they'd see a W in this series.
Yeah, I was quite surprised with how, you know, they handled the situation. And it seems like even right at the very end, as I speak here, they were trying to get that bridge. But it was funny how there's 3 or 4 of them, and TOX still managed to take them all out and close that game out. But what I want to talk about next is Game 2 especially, because with TOX, you could see they all play right up to the very end. They had quite an interestingly but quite a strange setup as well. I think it's because they knew there was only 1 death left in it, and 1 trade in anything could change it. So what they did was they had 2 on open side, expecting Splyce to flank round. They had 1 on bridge to get any info from S3 and anyone pushing bridge side, and 1 guy with the snipe on the flag. So if anything did happen to him, then he could push back to the back side of the flag. They tried to get a crossfire going as they were slowly pushing, but Splyce, that aggression, that strategic aggression, and that coordination just completely threw him off and closed out 50-44.
Man, it was a definitely a good game and a good follow-up, but then we go to Truth CTF, and at first, TOX, they were able to draw first blood. They get that first capture, and then after that, this is when the reign of destruction from Splyce showed through. They were just unstoppable. And Wonderboy, I want to bring you in on this one and get your thoughts, because I know we have a lot to break down from this game.
Yeah, we do. Just Splyce dominance, the buddy system coming into play, and I'll break it down a little bit after the replays we see right here, but so much buddy system being employed right there from Splyce. People talk about, oh, you know, they don't scrim, they only play 2s. What does that, how does that impact their teamwork? We saw it in Truth so much. They employed the buddy system, and what I mean by that is finding a friend and running with him. We saw that so often, and especially from one of the flag captures from Renegade in that series, in that particular Truth Capture the Flag game, excuse me, was just absolute textbook in trusting your teammates and working with the buddy system.
Well, speaking of, I know you have a telestration you want to go over with that particular play, so let's just jump into it.
Yeah, let's jump straight into it. I mean, the flag capture I actually want to start with is Renegade. I hopped onto his point of view through the respawn, and at number 1 is where he spawns at red. He actually decides, despite TOX pushing his base, he decides to push out all the way through pink, goes into P2, goes round into blue. From there, he has a really key one-on-one to win against Lethal, and luckily he does after a few windy shots. He then decides to run the flag through Carbine, and Carbine, honestly, guys, isn't the preferred run on Truth. Obviously, very situational. This leads to us at situation number 3, where he also grabs himself a slay on the front base. But the thing I actually want to focus on right here is the work over at the Carbine side of the map. The most amazing thing for me was the fact that Shotzzy, coming off the respawn on his own bubble, was able to push over to the enemy bubble and also block all those spawns, all the TOX members pushing back into their own base to try and kill Renegade. And that essentially allowed Renegade just to run the flag all the way from Carbine back into his own base. Just a really great job, honestly, from Renegade and the entirety of the Splyce roster, working with the buddy system, coming off the respawn, and just the life being played out from Renegade is just, it was picture perfect.
Yeah, and you see the play take shape right here. He starts off in red, makes his way from P2 over into the enemy base. Then when he makes that pull happen, as we fast forward, we now see that pull happen over by the Carbine, and then that leads to the capture. So yeah.
So look at this right here. Shotzzy pushing over into that bubble just to block those spawns, because even when you're running the objective through Carbine, despite the fumble, picks up the slay right there, even when you're running the flag that way, if you don't have a player on your team in the enemy team's bubble, they can still spawn there and stop that entire flag run. So really good job there from Shotzzy, from Splyce, and also Renegade from running that flag.
Not bad at all there for Splyce, but let's keep moving forward here for the Game 4 replays and catch you guys up to speed in case you missed the winner bracket final, which why would you? You know, it's crazy talk, but let's just go into the Game 4 highlights, because then we go over to Plaza, and again, it was the Splyce show, and it's just, I mean, I don't know, I guess, Clutch, this is a good time to bring you in here. You know this team very well, personally, as well as professionally, because you've coached this squad. What's going on? What's going on with TOX that you're noticing in this game?
I think the biggest difference in this series has to be the camo control. I mean, time after time, specifically in this game type, you saw Splyce was able to just sneak up and get the camo when TOX had complete control of the map. It didn't make much sense. I got to give a big shout out to Skeptical, the coach of Splyce, for really being on top of that. I mean, he got Splyce these power-ups, and I'm not saying that the coach did it himself, but obviously he got Splyce into a position where they could get these power-ups. You see Shotzzy at the very beginning of this game slide in and get the overshield while TOX had complete control of the bottom of the map. I mean, that cannot happen if you want to win this series. You cannot be giving Splyce camo and overshield, because they're so dangerous with it, and they're so efficient with it. Renegade went on a terror this series with camo. You can't make those mistakes.
Yeah, it was a brutal game at the end there. A steak dinner, well done for Splyce. They went 50-27, and they are now in the grand finals of the Halo World Championship after winning 4 straight following that loss from Eden Strongholds.
Can I just say, last 2 series, I've been the only analyst to actually predict the correct winners. Also predicted the correct scoreline in this particular series. So, hey,
no one likes the, no one likes
just
the
saying,
person who brags.
No one's gonna big me up. Sometimes you gotta big yourself up.
It's true. I'm not going to.
I'm not either.
Fair enough. Fair enough. The desk is unified. Okay, so that sets us up now for our next matchup, the Elimination Finals, TOX versus Envy. And Pistola's very familiar playing against these players. He did it at the 2017 Halo World Championships. He knows what he can do to win this game, especially coming off of a crippling loss that TOX just had. But the story has always been that 3 and 4 struggle to take on 1 and 2. And is this going to be the same thing here, Lethal?
I really hope not. We've had these 2 teams, first and second, for a really long time now. And we've been waiting for one of these 3rd or 4th place teams to break that barrier, try and at least squeeze in something or just anything, or at least stand a chance, because every time we have done, it's been a clean sweep or only struggling by a game or two. But, you know, I have a lot of faith, faith with Trippy and all the other guys as well. But the problem is the fact that we've got players like Saiyan as well, who can really take things forward and at least slay as well as he can do, because he's really impressed me this event. He's done such a great job. But the problem is, can he actually help his team take it out much further? But I reckon they can. I think their survival skills aren't as good as Splyce, because you've seen they're like pretty much Halo gymnasts most of the time around the map and that. But the things though, we've seen the survival skills. I have been really impressed so far. They had a really close series last time, but they need to take advantage of the demoralization which TOX are feeling right now.
And here's the series layout. Strongholds Rig, then you're gonna have Team Slayer on Truth, CTF Fathom, followed by Strongholds Empire, Team Slayer Plaza, CTF Truth, and then Team Slayer Regret to close it out. Clutch, your boys are in a difficult situation here. In the elimination bracket now, makes their journey to $500,000 that much more challenging. Envy, in a grueling matchup, has had time now to rest and get their mind straight, and on top of that, watch that TOX Splyce game to see what they want to do going into this one. So thoughts on TOX after that loss?
Right, I think TOX really has to rebound and do it rather quickly. I mean, they're going straight up against this Envy team that has played really hot this entire weekend. Looking at those game types, I really think they favor Envy. And if TOX doesn't get that 3-1 lead, I think that CTF Truth Game 6, I mean, if it goes there, you got to think Envy's taking that the way TOX has played it all weekend. You got to think it goes 7 if it goes 6. And in Game 7, anything can really happen. Any player can step up. I'm worried for TOX right now. I think Envy has a very good chance of taking this series.
Wonder Boy.
I was kind of split as to who I thought would win this series. I was going to take a look at the game types. Didn't really formulate my own opinion on that. I thought they were pretty split, but seeing as Clutch says they favor Envious, I'm going to have to go with Envy in this series. Wow. I think Envy take down TOX. My heart says TOX, but my head right now is saying Envy.
I'll say right now, we've seen it for the past 3 years. If TOX has anything left in the tank, it's got to be here, it's got to be now, and I know they know that. So I'm still going to take TOX to take this series. I think they have to close it early, though.
And I just think as well, TOX is such a good team. I talked about the demoralization earlier with the fact that they probably lost all momentum, but they're a very good professional team, and I think they'll get over that mentality struggle anyway, because they've been through this process so many times before. So I reckon TOX will take this ball too.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for your insight. And what a championship winner final that was. Congratulations once again to Splyce as they move forward. Now we're going to have TOX versus Envy. But before that, though, we do want to announce the winner of our Xbox One X giveaway, as we do at every event. So the drum roll is, and the winner is Oh My Emmett. Okay, that was his name. Oh My Emmett is the winner. Congratulations to you, buddy. You just won yourself an Xbox One X. Once again, Twitter user at @OhMyEmmett, which before we find out that is Clutch's alternative account.
I'd have to check with my mom. She did make a couple of separate Twitter accounts.
Fair enough.
To give me a better chance of winning this thing, because I don't have an Xbox One of myself. But unfortunately, I think they were very generic names with numbers, so that's probably not.
At least she tried. Okay, well, you know what, guys? You're watching some Halo this weekend. We want you to play Halo this weekend, because Halo is free to play for Xbox Live Gold members. Don't be like Clutch. Get Xbox Live Gold and get yourself a copy of Halo 5. And you can play from April 12th to the 16th. I know you have Halo 5. I've seen it. But anyway.
Oh, you saw it Friday in the caster match.
All right, well, that is going to do it for us here on the championship winner final. Splyce just shredded through TOX, but now TOX find themselves in a very unfamiliar position, as they're going to have to battle Team Envious in the elimination bracket finals to get their revenge. Or will the boys in blue reign supreme? Find out next.